We are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the third and final map to decide who is going to be crowned the fall champion for the iBUYPOWER Invitational. Is it OpTic Gaming? Is it Immortals? It's on Dust 2. Intensive series so far. Second one won by OpTic Gaming in overtime on Cash. Knife round now to decide sides.
And what an amazing finals this has really been. We've been able to just witness such a great tournament from both these teams all the way through, and both maps we've seen thus far have gone the distance, right? 16-13 win for Immortals on Train, 19-16 win on Cash for OpTic, and now it'll all get settled here on Dust 2.
Who does this map favor now, Dust?
Oh, man. To be quite honest with you. The thing is OpTic was a team that never really played a whole lot of Dust 2, but then, again, they've won it the last two times they've played it, like when they were playing the E-League qualifiers, and when I think they beat TSM on it earlier this tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So while it's not normally a map they play, they've been able to get some good things out of it in their most recent games. Immortals is a team, though, certainly capable of playing Dust 2, but I wouldn't say it's like a map they're well known for, right? They're more known for like their Mirage, their Cobblestone, their Train. So I think it's kind of middle ground, to be honest.
Well, we're live now. OpTic Gaming starting off on the T side. Rush, Mixwell, Tarek, Stanislaw, and Natfly. For the Immortals, we have Lucas, Bolts, Phelps, Zeus, and Henny. I'm Ben Silly. Along with me is Dust, with some contact spotted earlier on at lower B from the CT side. And all of OpTic Gaming are now converted towards mid. They do have utilities to try to go for a mid-B split. Or maybe just a rush out towards mid if they wanted to. They do have the utilities from Natfly to do it.
Yeah, you see them just staging up here at the double doors, but so far they haven't made the push just yet. Tarek actually clearing out Catwalk, putting some presence there just to kind of hold everything in place. But in reality, they want to move this bomb towards middle, it seems like. Or actually, maybe they're just going to go heavy B tunnels. You see them staging up 4 players in the upper tunnels, but the thing is, Zeus and Phelps are still just keeping in their eye on tunnels, and Phelps does have the P2K. He's got the range advantage against all these Glocks.
Tarek's going to be the one that's going to play for the rotation, so can this work? Here comes the first smoke, so they're going to run through the smoke and try to converge in. Pop flash maybe from Natfly, then they'll come through. Phelps is walking up on the right side. And here you go. They spread out inside the map. Phelps in a great corner. First kill. Second kill, he's fully blinded. And he's traded out by Stanislaw. Zeus, unfortunately, is on the outside of the map of the B bomb site with 11 HP. Going to go for the rotation. 3 guys actually flanking inside the tunnels. So Tarek has to come up huge. He spots the first one here, puts him down to 6 HP, pushed up by Zeus as well. Natfly pushing through, and he's also dying, so it's a 4 versus 2 now. Mixwell and Stanislaw. Now out to Mixwell, gets the first goosh, 2 guys low, trying to get the second kill, gets the second kill off the reload, but Lucas with 6 HP gets the kill. Both of them were so low, we needed at least 1 or 2 kills from the guys playing inside the tunnels, and they didn't, unfortunately, but Immortals, once again, gets the pistol round.
And they get the team ace as well. Everyone getting a piece of that round, despite the fact that Phelps went down pretty quick and there was a big, strong B take coming in. Immortals makes the retake happen, so they get the lead here in the third map. This is, again, for all the marbles, the last map of the night, the last map of the tournament. See who's actually going to take it all. Immortals going to go ahead and buy up here. Got the M4 in the hands of Lucas and Zeus. Scout onto Henny. And an Ump and Famas in play as well. OpTic Gaming with that bomb plant being conservative. They want to buy AKs next round, so just P250s. We're going to see Lucas get aggressive here on the catwalk, and he's going to find Naf out right away. Also gets the bomb down.
Doesn't care. Lucas moving up. His teammates meet him up with him as well. They already have the bomb controlled. Lucas getting the hat trick, getting the 4K, looking for the ace, spot Stanislaw inside the spawn. It might get stolen away here by Bolts with the UMP, but at least that adds $600 here in the bank for Bolts.
Yeah, again, there wasn't really much for OpTic to do in that round. They were saving for this moment here, which is where they're going to get the AKs out on the entire team. They'll have head armor as well across the board and some nades to work with also. In fact, we do see Naf getting a Galil just to make sure he can get a little bit of extra nade use in here. And so what is OpTic going to choose to do with this? They do have somewhat of a spawn into a fight for long A control, and so Mixwell will be actually going that direction with the AK. He's going to step out. Good flash comes in, but he takes so much nade damage, down to 45 HP, forced to back off into pit. Or excuse me, forced to back off over towards the back of Catwalk. Yeah.
And they down to 49 HP, trying to get the scout shot spotted at Xbox, and they're actually pushing through this mid side. Nice pick by Stanislaw onto Game Helper, and Zeus is going to see a lot of guys. Targeting the first kill. He lines up. There's one. There's two. There's three. Bomb down. Mixwell last man standing. Picked out by Lucas from the push at long. And that's 3 unanswered rounds. Started off so well for the pick.
That's actually nuts that Zeus would play that spot the first gun round. You know, like that's a spot that does get thrown into the mix sometimes, but it comes out so early, and so OpTic aren't even thinking about checking it at this point. It also sucks because you can actually spam that with an AK-47 and just like check it every single time if you wanted to. There is a way to do damage through that box, but they don't do it, and so Zeus pretty much wins the round by himself, and now it's going to be 3-0, and OpTic back to saving on P250s. Still a scout out here for Henny. Just patrolling middle with it, keeping his eyes. And he's going to get a headshot through the door with the scout. All right, there you go.
Another tag onto Navfly. Gets the kill. A third one spotted. Tags him as well. Getting support from middle. Phelps gets a double kill. And these guys are just getting dismantled. Of course, it's only pistols for OpTic Gaming as he drops down. Surprise! 3 guys just on the other end of the CT spawn. And that's 4 unanswered rounds now. But bonus money comes through. We'll see a second gun round for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, and this one's going to be a bit more beefy. They're going to be able to get an op in Mixwell's hands if they so choose, though he wouldn't be able to get armor if he did. So I'm just kind of waiting to see exactly what he decides to do. Yep. Actually, no, he gets dropped an op from someone. Never mind. He is... No, he did buy that. Okay. Rip.
Look how aggressive it goes. They're going to hear the footsteps on Cat. Rush turns around, gets the kill. But Bolts is still on top. Stanislaw gets an opener onto Phelps as well at mid. But Bolts is still there. They're not spawning it yet. His head's peeking out. He does get the first kill onto Rush, but no trade. Now Stanislaw peeks out. Finally does so with the headshot. Now it's a 4-on-2. What just happened?
I just think they just didn't realize that Rush was already pushed that far up middle. And so when they pushed out Catwalk, they were still just paying attention to back Cat and everything like that, not realizing that Rush was just right there to catch them. And so now they're forced just to be aggressive with the rest of their members because there's no other way back into the round. But Henny, he misses his op shot. He does a crazy little 360 no-scope MLG style. Get him his Doritos and Mountain Dew for the kill, but it's just, it doesn't matter.
Hector would love that.
Oh, he definitely would. I'm sure that'll get put in the video, but it just doesn't matter, man. You know, like, OpTic catches all that aggression, and now they have their first round victory, and now Immortals have to tap into their wallets. They have to buy down.
For the cross, Mixwell does not try to go for a shot because it's a nade that's going to cover the cross, so he doesn't know how many exactly has gone. Tarek is actually going to push up aggressively to see if anybody was there, then moves back down towards lower B with his teammates. And they're still going to try to take advantage of this mid. Flashing out for Stanislaw to peek. Bolts retaliating with a smoke to prevent him from moving any further. So all of OpTic Gaming regrouping back on Cat, and they'll try to take control of it. But they do have Henny at Game Helper with the AWP to watch that Cat and cross.
Yeah, but it's all about the flashes that OpTic have. Can they force him back off and make it to where he's not able to defend the cross? Because the site is open, right? I mean, there's no defending it. If Henny gets flashed back to long A, they have to concede and play for a retake. And here do come the flashes, but we see Henny, he's sticking around. He's actually going to look over the smoke. Bolts, though, he's going to get dropped on by Rush. And now Henny's playing a dangerous game inside the smoke, but he finds a kill, but it's quickly traded, so it's not worth it. The efficiency not high enough, but Phelps finds a kill onto Naf, and now all of a sudden, there's still hope here for Immortals. They have kits. They can go for this if they so choose.
Stanislaw looking back towards CT spawn. Just a shoulder peek. A little bit more pixels. He would have probably spotted it. There you go. There's that first one. Spots the dome at the second one. Nice tap. Third one. No avail. Zeus falls back, and he'll just going to try to save this M4. And they're going to try to hunt him down. Rush puts in the 6 HP, and they're going to get it. So they're actually going to reset almost the money here for Immortals. You still have 6K for Lucas. But it's going to be 42 for OpTic Gaming.
Indeed it is, and that's just well done by OpTic, really limiting what Henny's able to do with that op on Game Helper, because that's such an important position for an op to be at. If you can defend the cat cross well, you don't have to worry about retakes. You can just defend outright, but he gets flashed off. He only gets 1 kill, and then Bolts, who was the rotator for C spawn, actually got no kill. So really well done by OpTic, is trading much better than Immortals could, and now they have Immortals on pistols only, and they're getting picks on both ends of the map, so they'll just rush into B, into Henny, who's all alone, and they'll get cleared out quite quickly. And so this third round for OpTic is just around the corner. And so, again, we're going to start off with a very close game.
Bolt's now looking towards long, has the deagle. He's just trying to find something. That gun left behind by Tarek, it's too far for him, so he's just going to save his investment of this deagle and the kit. Showing off here his nice skin. The Corinthian, but it's going to be 4-3. Good entries for OpTic Gaming, but again, it was pistols, as you mentioned here, for Dust.
Yeah, I mean, you really couldn't expect too much out of them with only pistols to work with, but they will be right back to buying in the next round. They have 2,400 coming in and a good amount of money stored up on several of their players, so it should be no problem to get the ball rolling again on the CT side. But OpTic, they're starting to build up their own economy now at this point. They've won the last 3 rounds in a row. So far, each team has won a gun round. So it's really even at this point. I mean, the only thing is that Immortals won that pistol round, so it's kind of helped them out.
Double up setup here for Phelps and Henny of the Immortals. They're going to push 3 guys up on long to take control of that first. Meanwhile, you do have OpTic Gaming spread out across. Big nades. Tarek already down to 24 HP. Phelps then opping down Mixwell inside B. Nafly trying to run out, gets the first kill. Does he get the second one? He does with 6 HP remaining. That's going to give a chance for one of his teammates to run back towards T-spawn, pick up the bomb, and now rush inside the B bomb site. Meanwhile, you do have Stanislaw is going to play for the rotation.
That's actually incredible. Naf it's a complete solo effort. You know, as a peripheral player, he's usually quite passive, but that time he feels out of timing through a nade and actually comes through and gets entries onto the Opper Phelps and the rotator Zeus. And that basically just wins the round, just that one play. That's all it takes. And so now it's a tie game 4-all. Immortals forced to save guns because their money is quite low. And so OpTic have a great chance to take an early lead now. What a play from Naf.
They could probably leverage Rush and Stanislaw to try to go for kills. You can see Stanislaw already lurking up on elbow. And they're actually coming across to CT spawn as well, but it's 3 guys here for Immortals on the other end of long. Henny with the op. Smoke. Gives away his position, but that's going to be it.
There you have it, OpTic tying things up. Immortals does save 3 guns, so they still have a good bit to work with, despite the fact that money was limited.
I was looking a little bit at that discussion of how Mixwell died a few rounds ago inside the B bomb site, and they utilized a nature grenade to try to peek out from the smoke from the nade. Just got shot through it, so he was wondering how he died, but it was just a lucky shot going on there from the Immortal side. But Nafly, another entry.
What is this? He's just pushing B tunnels by himself, and he just keeps picking people off.
You don't really care about his performance on trading anymore. The confidence has come back since Cash. Bolt's fully blinded at this point as well, but the counter smoke prevents OG from actually playing it aggressively.
Yeah, this definitely makes things much more difficult onto Immortals. It stretches you very thin. It's already a map that can be difficult to rotate on because when Terrors have control of Cat and mid-B pushes a threat, it's really hard for you to know exactly where to go. And so Stanislaw actually burns bolts as well. So now it's a 5-on-3. Phelps tries to get aggressive at middle, trying to see if he can't bring this one back in. He'll just get up close here on the corner. Stanislaw may turn his back to him, so that might be a free kill for Phelps, but he can't quite finish him off. And now he's taking a ton of damage through the door.
A little bit more to stand than it is to Phelps. He's still at 70 HP, but that is the last flash that was thrown. More damage onto, looks like Tarek, down to 41. But meanwhile, he has dropped. They spot another one towards A. His teammates moving up with him as well. And that's Henny with the op. That's 1 down. Lucas, the twins are going to work. That's 3 down. And the bomb as well. 20 seconds left on the clock. They're going to where it was stacked. A 5-on-3. Now, another off shot from Henny. And another one. 4K for Henny.
There you go. No flashes stopping Henny this time from catching that cat cross, and so he'll have a big play. And that's actually crazy to think that OpTic had a 5-on-3 there. You think at that point you can just kind of manipulate the rotations and win the round, but they play into Henny's op on the A bomb site and they fumble the round. That's a big one to lose. That's going to come back to haunt them, you feel like, if they don't wind up winning this map.
That's the crazy part too, right? Because Napfly went into the B site, got the pick, and he even shoulder peeked, so he looked inside the site. There was never a trade. So they know that B site was actually open. They get a second kill towards CT spawn, but they still decide not to head towards B.
Yeah, it's great because that's both B players down, basically, or both players who play towards that side of the map. You get both them down. Maybe you're overthinking it, like, oh, then maybe they've rotated someone off of A to B, so now A is a little bit more vulnerable. You know, I don't know what the mind games were there, but whatever the case may be, they run into Henny's op and he shuts him down, but he's going to get another chance to shut him down again, and he gets it. Not even the guy he was actually intending, but he still catches a kill, and is able to fall back over towards the corner, and now Bolts has been able to step up here from CT spawn, throw some counter nades in here, do a little bit of damage, slow OpTic down, force them to reconsider.
Catches him with a blind kill. Resetting now, they're just going to play it aggressively. They're going to try again towards this A site. Actually, it's a fake. They're going to drop back down towards CT spawn. Bolts is waiting there, though, and he heard a few guys rotate across, but he's stuck behind this box. They're waiting for him to peek back out. Molly to flush him out. He loses a fight versus Stanislaw. It's back to a 3 versus 3. Henny now dropping inside spawn. They're running back up, but Lucas is on the big flank towards T-spawn. He gets the headshot onto Mixwell. It's up to Stanislaw and Napfly.
They're going to bring the bomb actually through B tunnels, but Zeus has actually already rotated to B, but he's still all alone. Henny can't help him, but Lucas actually flanking pretty quickly, but he still won't get there in time. Zeus has to buy as much time as he can. He hides that car, he gets both the kills, and so now it's Immortals, 2 rounds in a row, 6-4. OpTic Gaming running out of money on several players, but they might still be able to piece something together. It's up to them on how they want to do this. They want to force the issue, try to reset the economy of their opponent. They know they forced a lot of rebuys, and yeah, they're going to buy down.
And that might give a chance for them also to reset the economy back on the Immortals, but so far, it has been some individual work from Henny that's brought this back here for the Immortals. They have to try to shut him down quick.
It feels only fitting it is Henny because he's been playing so good lately that he seems to be kind of the guy that's really put the team on his back lately. So that's good if you're an Immortals fan, but OpTic, they're still right behind Immortals. Not much of a gap on the scoreboard at all, but this buy is severely limited, right? I mean, not as much utility, only a couple of Tech 9s to Galil on NAF, as they're going to try to work their way up the catwalk. Henny will be here once more with that op. They do have a few flashes to force him back.
Smokes split. Not a split. They're actually going to, all 5 of them go up on catwalk. And he's still going to work, making it rain with that op. Now he's going to play it safe towards the single box at the ramp. He's going to let them move inside the site, waiting for a pop flash from his teammate. Now the plant's going to come through and Rush gets the kill, but there's still another one at long. That's 2 of them, actually. Napfly gets 1. Napfly gets 2. Phelps already at elevator. Being flanked from the mid. And it's Napfly with a hat trick. Finally, it's stopped by Phelps. He's only at 12 HP. It's a 2 versus 1. He does have a kid and a smoke. He's going to try to utilize that smoke to bring that fight more towards a long. He has no idea where the second player is, and that's Rush playing towards quad.
Yeah, Phelps running out of time. He has a kit, but I mean, he's just not finding anyone, so he's going to have to try to just back off and save this AK. Rush doesn't really have the ability to push him, but Mixwell does. He'll just push the CT spawn. He just rips him apart with the Tech 9. And so well done by OpTic. They limit Henny to 1 kill on the A ramp. And then they're also able to battle back long A. No one able to get back in position to retake as Immortals were trying to backtrack. They just kept getting caught by the crosshairs of OpTic, and now they're 1 round away from tying this back up, and the money has been reset to Immortals. And so they force up as much as they can to try to see if they can't reset OpTic right back, but it's going to put them well behind. If they lose this round, next round they're still not able to buy, and that's where OpTic can actually take a lead. So there's a lot laying on this round.
This Nova from Phelps playing close to B. Stanislaw is going to peek out, take the advantage against Henny. And they're going to go early for this mid to B split. Phelps with this Nova. First one from Zeus with the 5-7. And Nova to capitalize again. The bomb is down. He picks up an AK. They're closing in from the mid side as well as he pushes through. Phelps is still waiting for him. Sorry, Mixwell is still waiting for him. Ops him down. And Rush, Mixwell, and Stanislaw come in for the plant.
Yeah, so it's going to be 6-all here in a moment, and so yet again another close game. As we had an overtime in the last map and a very close one on Train in the first. Mixwell clearing out Lucas. No exit frags for that, man. And OpTic will be able to hold on to 3 AKs and head armor across the board, even a little bit of utility as well. So starting to build their money back up. Meanwhile, Immortals still set back a good bit. Can't buy next round either. So this is where OpTic can actually take a lead, which they have never had one in this map, actually. They tied it up at one point, but then Immortals pulled back ahead, so...
We still aren't shy from a boring game here, Dust.
No, not at all. This whole series has been intense, man. Like, the first half of the first 2 maps were 8-7 halves. And then we had an overtime mixed into all of it, so it's definitely been a wild ride.
And it seems as though the tradition in this series might continue as we're tied up 6-6 in this third and final map. Single elimination, so it is going to lay down onto this, or rely down to this these last few rounds of the series to see who's going to be crowned the iBUYPOWER 60K Fall Invitational, with Stanislaw and company moving out towards long. First one down, second one down to 7 HP. Gonna get Molly and run through this smoke. Somehow this was sort of a struggle, but finally they connect onto the kill. And now it's Zeus's turn, jumping across the smoke, and Tara gets the kill. So 3 Ks for him.
Can't really fault them for that. I mean, that's your best chance, is to catch someone off guard. You only have USPs to work with, pistols in general across the board, so you have to try to force a play. It didn't quite pan out. So OpTic just, you know, a couple of steps away from getting that 7th round, taking the lead for the first time this half, and finally gaining a little bit of control of this game. Henny gonna get caught out in middle there, so this one's pretty much wrapped up, and Mixwell will finish it off. So there you have it, 7-6 for OpTic. It's definitely been a great series. What's that?
Henny with that scout wasn't able to get any kills, and because of that, he's stuck with only an M4. That $300 kill from the scout maybe could have given him enough for a glass cannon op. But now it is going to be 7-6. Full rifles across the board, no kits for the Immortals. And it's going to be Mixwell trying to open up towards long.
And he had a good spawn. He'll get flashed out, but Rush still able to win the fight here at middle, as he does take out Zeus there right on the other door. Now Phelps playing up close in the smoke. Tarek and Naf are going to be there. Naf's had quite a time pushing this tunnels and getting entries on the B-bomb site throughout this game. Will he find it again? You know, the smoke dissipates and Phelps is going to sniff out the first kill, and he'll take out Naf as well. So big play from Phelps actually gives the advantage back to Immortals, and Henny will just add on to it at middle.
So now they're going to try to work a 4 versus 2. They do realize that they actually played that a little bit badly for Nafly and Tarek at B, and Henny drive-by, M4 headshot. And Mixwell, will he make the highlight reel here on this 4 versus 1? Nope, backstab here by Lucas on the big flank one more time. You gotta be careful about that. 7-7. And last round ago, it's gonna be a full gun round for both teams.
And it could be yet again another 8-7 the first half, Antilly. All 3 maps will have started that way. If in fact, well, it doesn't matter. Whoever wins it, it's gonna be that way. It's insane. What a...
And even on T side, they're going double up.
Indeed they are. Mixwell taking his. He's got a good spawn for long A once more, so he's going to go for the pick. He's not able to get it. Again, he's naded off, but he doesn't take any damage. Tarek actually has his just, you know, fixated on middle, trying to see if he can catch anybody crossing. Stanislaw sliding up catwalk, almost caught Henny off guard, but doesn't hit the shot. Meanwhile, Mixwell did pick off Lucas.
Yeah.
But Zeus is on a quick flank.
Went back towards mid, got the kill. Zeus decides to fall back actually towards long. And they're actually finally going to decide to go for a real mid to B split. Pushing through is going to be Bolts in this smoke on the edge. That nade is going to put him down to 97, so there's no damage. Peeks out, gets the first kill, traded instantly by Mixwell. And Phelps is going to be at the window, trying to catch him off guard. There's one. Didn't spot the other one towards CT spawn, so Tarek's going to turn around and get the headshot from the AWP. Zeus now inside the spawn. Offshot then missed by Tarek, but at least that's some information. He knows they're both towards the CT spawn. He raged on that one. But it's a 2 versus 2. And it's Stanislaw and Nafly. Couldn't ask for anybody else to stay alive here to try to win this 2 versus 2. Stanislaw about to go for a big flank. And Henny is about to get caught. That's one down. Pre-fired shot onto Zeus, but he does the same, so he gives his position away indeed. Running through the smoke. Looking on the left side, thinking that Nafly is playing towards the tunnels, but he's actually in the back of the platform. Clock is to dwindle down too much. It's going to be Nafly's kill, and OpTic Gaming's have to win.
It's actually crazy to think how much differently that round would have been if Phelps would have spotted that terrace up against the box. I don't know if maybe he thought it was a dead body or something like that, but that could have put his team in a 3v2 retake, rather than it wound up just coming down to the 2v2 there in the end. So kind of stinks that Phelps missed out on that, but regardless, it was a great half out of OpTic. They were behind pretty much the whole half until the very end when they won 4 out of the last 5 rounds, and so now they'll go into the second half 1 round better to Immortals, and we're getting live into this second half pistol round right away. So far, when you look at the scoreboard, having a pretty good game for most of Immortals, as Bolts is having a little bit of a quieter game. Meanwhile, you look over at the other side, pretty tight frag distribution across the entire lineup, really. Some standouts are Stanislaw. He's had some big plays.
This is going to be a tough round for the Immortals, looking at how good OpTic Gaming have been with USPs. Actually, even Immortals had good rounds with USPs on their end as well, so it's been favoring the CT side a lot in this series, and they're going to rush inside B, and at the platform, it's going to be a gooch from a teammate, but one towards window, one towards platform for the OG side, and there's the first contact and the first kill. Lucas and Stanislaw have fallen. Mixwell on the outside of B, waiting for his teammates to rotate across. They're going to let the bomb plant, and it's going to be a 4-man retake. Phelps still watching that flank, though, from the outside. He's going to be able to go for a big fight himself. Nafly getting the first opener. Flash to move in. Nope, it's a decoy. And then Mixwell gets the shot onto Zeus. Phelps comes across. It was actually a smoke, sorry. And now it's a 2 versus 2. Rush never saw that. Now a 2 versus 1. Mixwell makes it a 1 versus 1, but Phelps comes out using OG smoke into his favor. Gets the kill. And it's going to be the Immortals taking it.
It's crazy. Mixwell backed all the way back in the CT spawn, I guess just to have like a box for cover to shoulder peek out while he was waiting for the B tunnels push, but I almost thought that maybe that's the reason why he couldn't get the B fast enough to help his teammates, is because he ran backwards to CT spawn instead of just holding the corner and being able to get to window quickly as they pushed through tunnels. So that was kind of weird. I'm not sure if I missed something there. Maybe he went back to go get another pistol because he ran out of ammo? I don't know.
You're talking about Phelps?
No, I'm talking about Mixwell when he jogged back to CT spawn when he was playing window. Instead of just like waiting outside B site for his team to flank B tunnels, he ran all the way back to CT spawn. So I'm not sure what that was about, but either way, we do have Immortals up 8-8. Now they're just trying to take over control of the A bomb site, and they're clearing it out with ease. It seems like only Tarek able to find the frag thus far. And that's probably going to be it.
To Henny's scout, getting 2 bomb plant coming as well. $300 for the planner. And Zeus on top of that gets the tap in the face of Stanislaw. They take the lead in this game once more time for the Immortals. They're going to go for a full save here for OpTic Gaming. So you'll still see a 10-8 scoreline.
So we do see Immortals taking the lead right back from OpTic. They won the last couple in a row. OpTic still saving as well, so a chance for Immortals to extend that at least one better before OpTic are able to get guns again. But we're going to see a crazy clash at long A. Almost all the numbers of OpTic have elected to just try to push here and make something happen, but they've been cleaned up by Immortals. They just don't have the firepower to fight against this, and it's going to be a flawless victory for Immortals.
Both surviving with 4 HP remaining. Thing now is that with the money that they have, will Henny actually just upgrade to an AWP? Indeed he will. He'll get a drop. Actually bought it himself, rather. But the full gun round's coming through. OpTic Gaming has no op on their side. They're favoring actually all the utilities on their end. So an incendiary grenade, a smoke, flash, and nade for Mixwell. And Lucas is already exploding towards long.
Wow.
His teammates as well. They're boosting inside the site. They might catch him. Knife
Holy
out for
cow.
Nafly, but he still survives.
Yeah, he ran out there real quick, but he gets caught trying to block the smoke to smoke the cross. Bolt's able to trade it at the very least. But yeah, that was crazy what Lucas was trying to do. He was really just trying to win the foot race. So he takes Naf down to 92, so he didn't really get that much work done. Luckily, there was a trade that came in from Bolts, because if he wouldn't have done that, then OpTic would have actually had a big advantage in this round. The risk almost really punished Immortals there, as now they'll just kind of spread out. They still have Henny inside pit with the AWP, and they're just kind of working the other side of the map now. They're just letting him hold control.
For OpTic Gaming, for the rest of the CT side, they are playing very passively on the B bomb site, focusing on this crossfire to overlook this mid side. But Stanislaw is the only one watching mid from the scaffolding, so they have actually some good crossfire set up to take control of mid.
Yeah. Because in a situation like this, when you're spread thin, you never want to be in a situation where you have one NB and one out. Like, you have to commit to something together. Otherwise, you're just going to get out traded, and you have too much to worry about.
28 seconds left on the clock. They're going to count on Henny. If he gets a shot into Nafly, that's going to force a rotate, and an easy take for the Immortals, and that starts it right there. Tareks are already under rotation. Nafly as well. Henny gets that kill, and now Stanislaw gets caught inside B. Tarek, at this point, is going to have to try to save.
That was a nasty flick by Henny on that second player on the A-bomb site. No doubt about that. And Immortals also get the entries on the B. So when it came down to the 4v4, OpTic got no more kills out of that. Immortals just sweeps through. Now it's 11-8. Now money's once again low on OpTic. And so as we start getting towards the finish line, it seems like Immortals is picking up the pace while OpTic is starting to lose their breath.
They can't stop this man. Henny is on fire. If they actually got that kill onto Henny, that would have been an easier hold towards B. But again, that forced our rotation out. And Immortals another explosive round. Because of that, this confidence, and they're steamrolling towards the second half. And Nafly playing more passively with the rest of his team does not pay off.
Might be another flawless victory here for the men over at Immortals. Rush denies that, but Immortals are able to stop him from doing much more. So 12-8. Now the score in favor of Immortals. OpTic Gaming. Yes, they can get ops. They could get two. Could see Mixwell take one, and Naf as well have one. Actually, it's going to be Tarek who's going to take one up. And that's going to be the only one. Okay.
Yeah, Nafly bought the M4, went full nades. Interesting to see what he's going to do with this. He's going to push down towards long. They're going to try to take long control first. He's even going to play it close towards the long A doors. So he's going to solo that up maybe for a bit. No, actually, they're all falling back towards A. So making a presence, then moving back towards the focus at mid. Meanwhile, though, for Immortals, they're just going to wait it out and play those last second rushes one more time.
We're seeing Immortals throwing some nades on Catwalk. Just trying to make sure no one's playing on the side of the stairwell. Just maybe forcing those players back. Also pop flashing middle here a couple times. We want to maybe just try to push anyone off close doors. Get some information. Phelps will start to clear it out. Smoke CT spawn. So mid to B split. Certainly a big option here at this point. Both players committed to playing B. Tarek just watching mid with the op from window.
Big flash, though. Three of them are blinding, trying to move up mid. It's Tarek that gets 2 kills. Make that a third. Was the first one to collateral? Most likely. Fourth one now is going to be now at mid doors. It's going to be Bolts and Henny. The last 2 remaining. Henny's still opping inside the B tunnels. Bolts waiting for this smoke to dissipate. 36 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to try to act quick. You can see it here. They're playing it very passively. If Henny does not connect with these kills, Tarek gets a 4K for the AWP. Mix will sweep it up the last kill towards mid. And it's going to be 12-9 with a flawless victory, much needed for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, it's a big round, especially since Tarek had such a quiet game. Before that, he was 8-17, and he also didn't have a really good map on Cash either. So the fact that he's starting to come alive with an op in his hands late here in the second half, in the home stretch, so to speak, of this series where Immortals was taking a lead, and now OpTic finally fight back for one, that's certainly good news.
So now in this round, another gun round coming through for the Immortals. Maybe afford another one following this one here, should they walk into Tarek's op that's been on fire on that last round. Well, can't really say that's been on fire. It's sparking up right now. We do have a solo men player that's going to be Stanislaw in the back of the platform. It's smoked out for them to try to creep up. Incinerator grenade towards the back. Bolts gets the opener, they're all blinded. And Tarek lets it the wrong angle. Phelps opens it up.
Yeah, so the money reset now is looming over OpTic, and this is not good news for them. I mean, they finally got around, but only to just have it ripped right back from them, and money is pretty low, so saving these 3 guns is vital. And I mean, that's not the way you want to follow up your first round victory of the half, is having something like that happen. Just a really big B execute from Bolts and Phelps, just mowing down Tarek and Stanislaw, denying them any kills. And so 13-9 is coming up here, and OpTic, they should still have enough to put together a buy next round as long as they hold these guns, which they should be able to. Immortals doesn't really want to chase here. Though they do have 3 players with good cash to do so, they're not... I mean, well, they're starting to push T-spawn, actually, but I just don't know if they'll make it out long to actually be able to get these guns down.
This is where it gets dangerous for OG as well, though. Even if they survive with these 3 guns, that's 1. With the support, no, they lose mixed wells.
Yeah, and you feel like there's no reason for you to even peek that. I mean, just let him stay there. As long as he doesn't push out and stop you from keeping your gun, it's not a big deal. Instead, he tries to go for the kill, and that's just 1 more gun they have to buy now.
That's right. Forcing 2 drops, forcing 1 with a FAMAS with a weak buy. And even on top of that, should they lose this one here, they're only going to get $1,900, and that's going to put Immortals at tie point and even series point, and also championship point.
Look at this. Immortals just trying to tear through this smoke. They don't care at all. They're still going to keep going. They're eating so much damage, but they just don't worry about it, and they actually trade their way into the site, but they have such low HP, and Mixwell's already flanking through. He's already found Phelps, and Bolt's all alone now in a 1v3. It would be impossible to win, I feel like.
They really needed that one. And now Rush is just moving in from the window side, executes bolts, moves in for the defuse, and it's going to be 13-10. And they're going to be able to go for another full gun round for OpTic Gaming because they had three guys alive. But it's not over yet because the Immortals on their end have so much money right now.
Yeah, they do. Kind of crazy, though, that they actually forced the issue in that situation. I felt like they had met enough resistance to where it might have been worthwhile to kind of just fall back off of it, but they keep committing, and OpTic are never going to let them through. And so now it's 13-10. Still yet again shaping up to a close game. OpTic Gaming going to change it up. They're going to try to get aggressive on Catwalk now. No one's actually middle here to stop them just yet, as they just keep pushing. Yeah, I think he did. And they're actually going to get a massive flank at the back of long A. Will they expect this? Zeus could cut them off. He's coming through lower B tunnels, but he's not going to get there fast enough.
They need to move quick. If not, they need A players to step up right now. We've already crossed for the Immortals. Here comes the big flank, but Henny's still watching that flank. He gets the first one. He does not get the second one, but the A side is now open. It's a 4 versus 2, and because of that, we also still have Zeus that's lurking towards mid. So Stan can't get anything. So it's going to be 14-10 with no money now for OpTic Gaming.
Indeed. I mean, that's a dire situation right now for OpTic. This is getting real nuts here because they're getting their money reset again. 2 players, or actually 3 players, are so low on money. And it's like you want to buy what you can next round because you want to contest them when they go for a map point, but it's going to put you in that situation where you're just constantly force buying from this point forward. And so that gets really scary for OpTic and Immortals. They seem to have finally grabbed this game and put it under their control. Phelps with 26 kills on this map, but still at least 2 more rounds to play. So he's done quite a number. Henny continuing to look strong, as he has been for this team for the last few weeks. And outside of that's pretty close.
Zeus's gun name for the AK is even funny.
What is it?
A coach. So his Hal's a manager, his AK's a coach.
There you go.
Love it. 14-10. OpTic Gaming on this force by only a 5-7 in the hands attack and a UMP for Rush. Mixwell still with this AWP. And look at Zeus. He just ran through mid. They're going to split towards B, and this is going to be so hard because they only have the 5-7 in hands attack. So Stanislaw has to come up big. It starts off well. Zeus has fallen. They've pushed out towards long as well. Immortals falling back, and it's going to be Nafla that's going to be able to catch him. But no, Henny's waiting with the op, and he falls.
And then Rush thinks better of it. He actually just decides to hold the angle now at long doors, which is good because if they ever try to go for late long A, he can just watch their shadow on the floor, and he can actually take the main advantage right back for OpTic. But if Immortals, they have plenty of Molotovs to like clear that corner out and actually force him back and maybe even kill him as he tries to escape. So there could be any number of interactions that take place here, but it seems like we may not see any of them because it looks like Immortals have their sights set here on middle and Catwalk. Phelps is keeping his eye out for a flank, but he's not peeking it just yet. Now he's starting to edge over, but oh, Rush sees this. He's like, come on, Phelps, just a couple of more steps. Phelps not going to do it. Oh, man.
Mixwell open it up at least inside A. He wins that fight for Rush thanks to the armor pen. Does not even pick up the gun. He has to book it back quickly to try to help his teammate, but they haven't executed inside to save bomb site yet. Lucas and Henny, again, the twins, are going to try to work out the site together. It's going to be Henny opening up towards B. They're falling back now towards lower. And they're going to go towards upper. But Target's going to hear it.
Yeah, he's the one that can actually put a stop to all this. He's going to sit inside car. They don't really have time to clear a whole lot of corners. They have to plant immediately. Will Henny check it? No, he pulls out a nade, so now Lucas has to do it. He does get the kill, but now he's only got 6 seconds. He's got to plant, but Mixwell can just push him as he does it, and he'll probably get the kill. No, he gets
caught!
Something. No! Now Lucas has a chance!
Are you kidding me? Now it's a 2 versus 1, individual 1 versus 1, and Rush wins it.
Oh boy, when he got stuck on the door, I'm like, uh-oh, Lucas, you just gave him a chance. He gave him a window of opportunity, but Rush slams it on his fingers, so to speak. And so there's another round for OpTic. It's going to be 14-11, still plenty of money for Immortals. OpTic going to have the double op set up, but here's the crazy thing. If Immortals wins this round, OpTic has no money to challenge Immortals when they go for the win. So while they got a really big round they needed to stay alive, there's still so much weight on their shoulders.
You want these shots to land. Mixwell's going to go for the mid peak. Is he going to get it? He does! Headshot at the Henny. Bomb is down. Split now is going to be 2 of the Immortals at B, 2 at long, and that's a great start for OpTic Gaming to bring this game back in their favor. But it is a 3-round advantage.
Indeed it is. Really cool double peek there out of Mixwell and Tarek to like make Henny have to pick a target, so to speak, and instead of being able to pick one out, he's like somewhere in between and he gets caught. And now we see OpTic being able just to kind of stuff long A control. They're throwing their smokes and nades, so Immortal's not able to get out there. You still have the strong B presence, eyes on middle, and cat cross. This becomes difficult for Immortals now.
Zeus is going to pick up that up, and they're playing very passively towards the outside long on T side for the Immortals. They're going to flash each other in. Rush is fully blinded, actually, but at least the crossfire set up. Nafly's on a one-way smoke. Rush gets the first kill. Rush gets the second one. Not even needed any help from Nafly. Mixwell, meanwhile, has up down Phelps. It's a 5 versus 1. They can't really hunt him either.
No, they don't have the money to chase after this, that's for sure. So saving this op is very likely for Zeus. Though there is one player kind of patrolling in B tunnel, so maybe they actually run into each other. Stanislav is going to be there.
Looking for the early information. Op shot missed. Second one as well.
Uh-oh.
And now he's starting to sweat a little bit. Third one's a charm for Zeus. They're closing in on him. Look at that converge. They actually wanted to go on a hunt. So they utilize Stanislav to try to get that information first because he only has the FAMAS. They'll have the money after. Pop flash, but not peeking through. They're waiting for the time to run down. So smart.
Yep.
There's
He's gonna die. Wait, they're actually not gonna be able to get to him in time. He actually does save the stop. Okay, that was a little bit crazy, but he does grab it. And that actually means they can buy around this. I mean, without that, they might have even elected to just take a save this round. So they only had 2 people with good money. But now they can buy 2 AKs, pass the op to Henny. There's a Deagle out as well. And we do have a match pause coming, and I'm not sure what this is. Can you read it as a technical or tactical?
Yeah, it's a tech.
From
Immortals.
Okay.
So the thing is that's crazy as well is that Zeus sees the op, but Mixwell's the one that loses his. So they had a double up set up for OG. Now they're only up for Tarek in here. And you're trying to figure out what the tactical pause is going to be here for the Immortals, because Phelps is going to go for a gun round for sure, or for a full buy. Lucas will basically only be able to afford a Deagle. So it's a very low buy right now for the Immortals. He will be able to buy utilities as well, so he's just waiting for the call from Zeus. The thing is, Nafly already upgraded to the UMP, so he's going to have to play close at some point somewhere. And I think he'll have a better chance to play up on long.
Yeah, when you look at the spawn, there's a B bias spawn here from Immortals, but there's no way for them to take like a long A pick or anything like that with an op. So they just have to, go for maybe a standard pick at middle. Henny actually could go for a B tunnels pick with the op. I mean that's an option. I do see players do that sometimes. So that is certainly something he could try. Outside of that though, I mean I don't know. Like Immortals has been really just all over the place. Like he's seen these crazy B tunnels pushes. We've seen Zeus just run out middle by himself and try to have these crazy antics. One thing we really haven't seen out of them yet is just like a standard cat execute on the A bomb side. I feel like we haven't seen like, you know, just the smokes dropping down off of cat onto the slope, flashing corner, you know, just that typical kind of A execute that can be so powerful. That's something I haven't seen them do quite yet, so maybe that's something they go to something a little bit more familiar.
And it's not over yet for OpTic Gaming. If they lose this round here, it's series point for the Immortals, and they're going to be broke. So they're going to have to win this round quite decisively and with confidence for the counter-terrorist team. If not, they could kiss this title goodbye. As Bolts and Phelps starts things off very low on HP, 63 and 56 respectively. As it looks like it was an attempt at an aggressive peek towards long. Meanwhile, you do see them converge out towards mid and also at long. And they're going to go for the plow out towards that area. Rush.
Ooh.
Instantly headshotted.
Yeah, that stinks. He didn't have any support either, and so now Immortals just take free reign of long A. Fixwell trying to re-peek it with the op. He's going to pop flash himself through so he can boost back up into the site here, but the nades come flying in, and Immortals just charge into the site, but OpTic, they have a good rotate.
Oh. Fixwell gets the first off shot at the single box onto Henny. Tarek, meanwhile, has been picked off. Here comes another boost, but Nafly falls, and now they drop towards the elevator, so they get the height advantage for the Immortals. They're dropping inside the elevator, and Stanislaw gets the kill, but traded out by Zeus. It's now a 3 versus 1. They're gonna get a bomb plant.
What can Mixwell do here? He's got a fast flank on the long A with the op. He could catch someone off guard, but in reality, he needs this gun next round because they're low on money. He's trying to get an exit, but he misses the shot. So now he's forced just to sprint through T-spawn, so he should be able to keep the op, but Immortals will go to map point. They'll get 3 chances to win the title, and OpTic are going to be so limited on what they have to work with. It's getting really scary now for OpTic. Just a big long A control from Immortals. Phelps with 3 kills. He's put himself at 29 on the map. He's been brilliant through this series, and that's a big round from him. Also, you got to give credit to Zeus being able to kind of catch that movement from Stanislaw there on the slope. Big kill to get that kind of sealed the deal. And so this could be it. It could be all over right here.
I don't know why Tarek actually ran through that smoke. Even after he died, there was some comms going through. I couldn't catch it exactly what it was, but he said, did you guys try to push up long? But then Nafly said, no, we're playing heavy mid. So a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah. Would have been cool if it paired with like some type of pop flash as he runs through, but there wasn't any there.
But it comes down to this. Only a 5-7 and 2 UMPs for OpTic Gaming to try to keep the dream alive in the series. Immortals at series point and championship point. Henny inside the pit. Nafly saved by that molly that's just on the edge. But all of the Immortals are playing so passively still, with the nade heavily damaging Nafly.
They already have control of pit area here with Henny with the ops that affords them free passage into long A, while Bolts just kind of holds out on catwalk here. There's a big cat setup. He knows that because they're getting long A for free and there's still 5 players alive. So you see he's not going to push or test the waters. He's just going to kind of fall back and just kind of chill out here in the middle.
Here's the smoke for the cross. Mixwell has to land these shots up on catwalk, but he does not. He loses it to Phelps. Bolts creeping up. Nafly giving away his position. Does get the tag onto Bolts as he runs across. He does get the kill at least. Bomb meanwhile has been planted. It all comes down to this with the bomb plant. Rush falling from the hands of Phelps with the up. 3 guys trying to come across, no kits. They have to act quick, all 3 of them on cat. Incendiary a grenade to try to flush out towards the towards the A bomb site at default, but Lucas is playing it from Goose. Off shot from Phelps, 1 down. Peeking out is going to be Lucas. This could be it. Tarek on a 3 versus 1 only with the UMP. And now he's pinned. That's it. Henny gets the kill. And 16-12 for the Immortals on the 3rd map. Good games exchange.